Michael, el Rey.
Good evening. You already know that is your king, Michael L. Ray, and you're listening to Ring Fever. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, that sounds better. Guys, what's going on here tonight? Tonight's show is sponsored by Niglio's Hobby Shop. Check them out online, eBay, for all your hobby needs. What's going on, big man? I'm stressed today. Not stressed. I'm disappointed. That's the word I'm going to use. I want to read you. I want to read you something real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you for your opinion.
Can
Not
you hear
saying,
me okay from here? How's
yeah,
that?
I can hear you.
All right, no echo.
Nah, no echo.
Okay, beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna read you something that Ring Fever Podcast Network posted up about this afternoon, and I'm gonna read it to you, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions, and then we'll take it from here. Frankie Reyes in the 90s, former CWF and WWE ref who also trained in the ECW Chaos, is now the center of some serious indie controversy. His Florida wrestling school is shut down for non payment issues, not hiding that from no one. But the real talk is Frankie has a reputation for holding grudges that's been slamming his students in the past. Just until recently, Frankie, Eddie Two Rivers, and Adam Reyes were both advertised for NCW's Alien Invasion. Without no notice today, even though I spoke to Chief, but without no notice, Eddie Two Rivers put up a flyer saying that he will be at Champ 7 Pro Wrestling May 31st with Frankie Reyes and Adam Reyes. Now, I know for a fact Frankie and Adam has been dodging your booker's phone calls, and I know for a fact that I spoke to Eddie, and Eddie said he wasn't sure if he was going. Now, here's why I'm pissed off. All right. Why are you holding grudges? Why are you mad? And why are you keeping your students from wrestling in front of the national booker? I don't get it. I never understood that part. I've been defending Frankie for a long time, knowing his dirty laundry. I know your son was in his school. I know you guys pay dues. I know Cassidy paid dues. I know I pay dues. I know there's a couple of guys that paid him enough to keep the door running. If anybody wants to know what the monthly rent there was, it's fucking ridiculous. Brian Idol had us on $450 a month, and the school's still shut down. I believe it was $450, $550. I could be wrong. It wasn't more than $600 to use a school with a ring twice a week as much as you want. That means that guy came in there at 7 in the morning to at 11 o'clock at night. Idol didn't care as long as he got his rent. I also know for a fact, and I have plenty of receipts of times where Idol didn't receive his rent and will hit me up and ask me if I know what's going on and let them pass. I'm talking about 6 or 7 months without receiving a dime. Now, do you think Brian Idol is wrong for shutting down the school? Or do you think he's right?
I mean, like, we had no idea what was going on the business end when I know when Tom was going there that we didn't even know it was a shared school at first. You know what I mean? I didn't. And then I found out that it was actually Brian's school. And I was like, oh, man. But it was because of the convenience and the schedule of when that is the main reason why we were going to that school on those nights is because that's when Dom was available from the dealership. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
Thursdays and
how much
Sundays.
you work 6, 7 days a week, dude, at the dealership. So the days that were available worked on his days. And then when he went to finance school, his days switched, and that's why he stopped going there. So I don't know how long they were open before we started and how long he started going to Seidel's after that, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
When his schedule changed. And
that's when he
like,
learned how to do the 450 splash.
Instead of like you said, that's your student you started with, and you taught them you put them in a stance, you know. It's like a youth coach, and you see your kid go off to high school and play for one of the best high schools, you know what I'm saying? Or high school, and he goes to play for college, or college, and he goes to play pro. Or even when he's a pro, his rookie year, and he gets through his first contract, and then maybe he's a free agent and traded, but then he gets another 4 or 5 years. But you were his rookie coach. That's I don't. Maybe
I don't
because
think
I
they
come from the
understand that.
football. I grew up football, Mikey, and this is what's killing me, because when you go to war like that, it's like, and that's what the wrestlers, a lot of wrestlers are football players or former football players, and you put your life on the line. And I felt like when you play football, you really are putting your life on the line, and there's that mutual respect as a teammate and a team member. And that's actually what I loved about the school at first, is like that everybody's shaking hands and the camaraderie and the family.
Well, there was nothing really wrong with the school. I'm not shitting on his practices. I'm not shitting
that's what I'm saying.
Eddie's.
As far as the business end, we didn't know what was going on. We had no clue, didn't care. We were paying our thing, and Dom was learning, and that was all we cared about.
I know for a fact.
And when things didn't go, he bought his own ring.
Yeah, I know for a fact some of the issues in the school, like number one, it was a small area. There was no reasons to do shows there. Okay, that was one of the things the landlord kept complaining about to Idol. Then
I guess I'm part of the blame. Maybe I know how to bring people to even a back garage. But they said, let's do a student show. I said, you want to do a student show? Okay. I'll bring my little setup. Mac will do a DJ, bring a tent, set up a little merch. Bro, we made the tickets. You're right. 100 fucking people came to that place, Idols.
And you can't fit them anywhere. So you got cars and everything.
Sorry,
chaos.
Bro, I'll take the blame for that one, Brian.
No. That's not your blame. You want to know why that's not your blame? Because
we literally had chairs. He had as many chairs as he had. They were all out there into the parking lot with people in them. It was.
I performed there too, so it's.
I thought it was awesome. That was and I remember one time. Brian was like, "Holy fuck." Like, I don't think we're supposed to be doing this.
No. Look, so the landlord was mad about that. The landlord was mad about a lot of things because insurance-wise, you're on a business property, and you got all these people there. That I understood. The landlord was also mad about when he put videos up. There were unsupervised kids running around in and out the facility in the ring and stuff on Thursdays. Now,
I don't know about. We stopped going then. That was.
My thing is, like you said, you came from the football world, right? I came from the boxing world. In boxing, you start off with your coach, right? You could stay with that coach, right? You could stay with your trainer your whole career, but your trainer's not. There's a point in time in your career. If you're a real boxing trainer, you get other trainers involved to continue the process. I learned that from my uncle. My uncle used to train Juan Guzman. He had other people do. Even though my uncle was the best when it came to mat work, he had other guys drilling Juan to do different things, different aspects, because every fight is different. Especially like if you're a trainer that just teaches southpaw and Spanish style boxing, you could get a Mexican that comes in and he's just full brute. You know, you got to have different styles of different trainers. That's boxing. And wrestling, I believe you need that too. I always said that about Frankie. Frankie could start you. Frankie could start you with your basics. But if you want to elevate to a bigger showcase, you're going to have to go to another school and have more ring time and train with other wrestlers because there's only so much Frankie could teach you. Now, what I don't get is you got a lot of kids that still to this day are very proud to say that he's their trainer. Then you got a lot of kids who started in that school, okay, who is everywhere here in Florida, the La Bravas, the Salazars, all those guys there, and Sam C, all of them, and they won't even say Frankie's name that he started them. So my problem is if you got the kids that love you, respect you, and still call you coach and still want you around. Let's be honest. He had a nice spot at NCW. He kind of watched his kids grow there. I mean, why would you shit on that and take somebody
That's
somewhere
what
else?
that's what kind of blew me when you told me, and then Eddie hit me up and was saying it just didn't make sense. And then I was like, oh, come on, not because of that. Like, how long ago? I didn't even I'm getting old, you know. I didn't even
And
remember
it
this.
wasn't even beef. It wasn't even beef. I
I
swear
didn't
to God,
even
it wasn't even beef.
it was so far beyond and so minute that I didn't even think it would be a thing. But to try to leave us hanging with no referees,
No,
and
nothing.
then totally, like you said, we talk about our story. We're trying to create storylines and do television. And if not broadcast TV, at least we're giving fans something to interact with and content on the modern day platforms like Facebook and YouTube. And so we're getting thousands of views. I mean, if you pull up a 90-day, we're literally getting 250,000 views on Facebook alone. And the numbers don't lie. I mean, you can't make those up. And it's literally with zero. I have paid $0 for any Facebook ad or sponsored anything on Facebook. I believe Circle S has run some, and the hosts have run a couple. And I think the Joke Joint might be running one this week. We've done it grassroots, boots on the ground, physical tickets, sharing and posting, making content, telling stories, doing promos. And I noticed, like, the one thing I will say about my team and my guys is they are good. I see other promoters bitching about I can't get them to make a promo. I can't. It seems like my guys are excited about telling the story and making the promos. They just needed some help on, setting up a studio or something aesthetically instead of just doing a car promo. And if it is a car promo, why is it a car promo? Well, I'm just leaving my shoot job as a butcher. That's why I'm in my butcher's. And I got my cleaver. All right.
Real quick, I don't want no one to think I'm attacking Larry Hamilton. I'm not. What you got going on in Jacksonville, you've been doing it for years. That fits for you and stuff. I'm just gonna read
He probably has
something.
no clue about any of it.
I'm gonna read something a wrestler sent to me. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm just gonna read it real quick. It says, "Damn, that Champ 7 show is filmed in a small building that only holds 40 to 50 people. It's besides the owner's house in the middle of the ghetto. Laugh out loud. I like Larry. He's a wonderful person, but his product is very shitty and you cannot tell him anything. It looks like an old wrestling show from the 90s that belong in a paid program." I agree. I love Larry. I know he's done things in the past, like his past career, but I'm gonna be. This is not for you to say. I need you to stay neutral because I don't want. This is El Rey speaking. Okay. You got
I
these
don't know him. I have no idea who he is. I know who he is because I think I've tried to get Dom booked. I've contacted him a few times. Other than that, I don't know the man at
The
all.
Larry, the beef is not with you. You're gonna have to do whatever you have to do to keep your doors open. The beef is not with you. We don't even have beef. We're just trying to figure out why would Frankie constantly shit on his kids. That's what all this is about. So when you watch the show, don't get all butthurt and send me stupid messages. What I don't, one of the things that hurt my feelings, I know it didn't hurt your feelings. I know it didn't hurt your son's feelings. I just took it more personal because the NWA taping, Nick was there. Nick made his debut. Nick started with Frankie. I personally hit Frankie and Adam up and told him, hey, there's 2 free tickets for you guys. Come along. They didn't even tell us they were coming. They waited 2 hours before the show to tell us they weren't coming. We already knew they weren't. We already knew. But it goes to show you, Gary Wolf, who's sometimes not all there in the brain, okay, only trained Dom for a couple of months, but he showed up to see one of his students make it to the big leagues. You also had hold up. You also had all his former coaches, elementary coaches. I mean, this guy had everybody there. I don't understand. Plus his homies, plus his day one G's. I don't understand why you, a guy that talks about principle, talks about certain things and aspects, why do you go back on everything you say? You didn't show up for Dom. You said you will never book untrained wrestlers. You're booking untrained wrestlers at your strip club. You're pulling people out of shows, telling them you will never work with them again if they do this show or that show. Why? That is my question. Why? Why are you so bitter? You already went to the WWE. You had a beautiful career in ECW, and you had a beautiful career in Central Florida wrestling. Do you honestly think they're going to pick up a 70-year-old man to be a referee again? Come on.
I mean, I think we talked about this off air the other night, and that's the disconnect, I think, from wrestling and football. Like, you know when your time is over. You know what I'm saying? In football. And it's like you can go to the sideline and become a coach. You can become a trainer, like you said, a specialist trainer. I got a lot of friends or a lot of ex-players who train college kids to get ready for the combine. That's their thing. We used to bring in, shout out Coach Enriquez and Coach Gregory, who's still the coach at Tampa Catholic, having their youth summer camp this summer. Check them out. If you're in Tampa, make sure you check out Coach Gregory's youth summer camp. Used to help them every year. And they would bring in a speed coach. You want to know why a kid don't know how to run the 40? Because there's a way to get in the stance to run the 40 right. There's a way to explode and run the first 10 steps, and there's tricks. And in a combine situation where your dollars every 10th of a second could be $1 million, I mean, that's just little things like you said, where the disconnect in wrestling, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, because I've only had 2 shows. Not that I didn't grow up around the business, and I don't want to start name dropping and all that. But
no, but you've been in the business because you take care of your son's bookings. Why? Because your son is constantly busy. Well, you don't take care of all of them.
I mean, I've been taking care of his bookings since he was 6 months old. He's been in commercials. It's not a gimmick. He's in the Screen Actors Guild. He doesn't like to do both personas, and we'll leave that up to everyone to still figure out. But there's a lot going on, like you said, Mikey. So
yeah, he has a full-time job where he works at a dealership. He makes very good money there. That's some of the things that, like, I personally know about him and you and some of the other people that work there, like Brian Cassidy, who has a very, very tremendous good job. And there's no excuses. There's no excuses when it comes to that school closing, because people that had money was giving it up for the school to be open. So between Dom and Cass, that was already the rent right there.
I don't know if things were already going, whatever the microwave story I read or that. Brian,
look, there was a lot
I think
of.
I was at a practice and Brian came and they were late and Dom hadn't been there in months, but he wanted to go one night. And I think you were there and him and Idol, but you know, a month later, because Dom was just there, he booked him on a birthday show. So business is business. And so, like I said, yeah, to come all this way, have 2 sold out shows, give them their own NCW rest, like even willingly, knowingly, Dom wanted to give them another chance. That's between, I guess now between us and the NCW metaverse and the Ring Fever fan base here. So, you know, I guess I got to start going public with this stuff because I am the president of NCW. I mean, we're a legitimate Florida S corporation listed on Sunbiz and a for-profit. Yeah, we do help like dog rescues. We take pride in bully rescue and we work with some of the local, but we don't claim to be a non-for-profit, or we want to make money so we can pay our talent a good rate. I mean, a minimum, like I'm in the Screen Actors Guild, Mikey. So even to be an extra, you get $75 to $125 to be an extra. And you're there 12 hours. So it's like when I need to at least pay my guys to be extras. Because we're not union yet, right? We're not union. We're not on. So we're all extras in this thing at NCW, kinda.
I'm trying to figure out.
What are you laughing about, man? I can barely see my phone from this far.
I'm just laughing because, like, I don't understand. I'm seriously, I don't understand, bro. You're gonna drive 4 hours to Jacksonville, okay?
You're segueing into that.
I'm not trying to segue into that. I'm just saying, bro. I was gonna segue into something else, and I just
if I could just. I love my wife. Been going married 30 plus years now. I got a book. I got one of these binders, like the story. It's day by day. It's filling up.
I just swear, bro. I just don't understand no one's logic, bro.
I have to go back to my old boss, Joe Pro, at the dealership. Stepping over $1 to pick up a fucking penny. I'm sorry.
Look, back to Brian Idol. I know him real well. He doesn't hold grudges, unlike Frankie. You could mess up a couple of times, and he'll still try to work with you. Why? Because he has that coach mentality as, oh, he's probably dumb as fuck. I gotta teach him. You know, he doesn't hold anyone accountable, especially when you wrestle him and you mess up and stuff, because he knows the ins and out of the industry. I mean, they didn't fucking make him the national booker for no reason. You know what I mean? So it just gets to me that you want to hold your kids back because you're bitter. But fuck that. Let's move on to something else, bro.
I mean, no, you can't just bring that up and leave me hanging.
It's just I don't want to keep burying him, dog.
My son, yes. Brian Idol booked Dom on some birthday shows. I'll never forget. I ref my debut. A lot of people don't know about the blind ref, bro. I botched your boy Johnny Santos's finish one time. Shout out. My bad, my boy, but I'm just there to have some fun and make some money. And that's what these guys need to realize, dude. And that's why I can't believe, because I saw Brian having his school at the place to all the way, man, to building his character as a wrestler, getting a couple shots, going across, out of the country, overseas. And then boom, this NWA thing came, and he took like my coach said, like you said, he's a coach because he had a school. Like they ran on the opposite nights, and I remember I would be going sometimes like, damn, why ain't we there on the other nights? You know what I'm saying? Because Dom bought tickets to his FTW show that was in Tampa. So Dom's like, hey, Pops, I got us 2 tickets to Idol's FTW show. So we went to that show at one of the boys' clubs or something. And I was like, oh, all right. And then I was like, to see him go that far was like, man, I was kind of like, that's awesome. I was proud of him because a lot of people don't know that Guild actor and I guess stunt man he could be too, and cover model.
That's the I believe it's not butter.
Lito.
I was gonna say that.
He's on the book cover of romance novels.
Maybe it's jealousy. That could be it. Maybe they just jealous of his style and stuff like that. You flip phone.
Like guys like us would go to the same castings to get a role, and we would all, the same 10 dudes would be in this casting for a movie part, and we'd be like, yo, good luck, dude, good luck. And that's what I don't get about this, because this is like the bookers or the promoters are like, I feel like your casting director. They're telling you what they want to do and what you want to do and what the performance you want you to show,
Look, I could never be mad at him for one reason. I could never go against him for one reason. I had a show. You remember one of those upstairs shows where everybody got to fucking bring the ring upstairs.
SWA, baby, Leesburg.
I got the ring from him. My very first ring rental was from him. He was offered $600 not to bring the ring to me. Okay, he was already paid, so that means he could have made an extra $600 and dick me that night. He pulls up.
I got a flat tire on the trailer. Got a flat tire.
Yeah, he pulled up. He showed me the message. I respectfully said, can I say something about it? He looked me dead in the face and said, dude, no. I'm just showing you. You got people that don't like you, but I'll fuck with you. So I said, so you don't. I was like, loyalty, so I can't punch him in the face?
Loyalty goes a long way. And that's where, like, this just blew me. And I was like, we got to do some kind of show today. As much as I like to stay incognito, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, just keep it pushing. You keep needling me in my ribs about this, but I know that's your job, The
only reason why I keep asking you is because I think it's disrespectful. All three of them bailed out and didn't say nothing. We're days away from the show, but shout out to my man. Can I shout out to something? My man? Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Shout out to my man Richard White. Shout out to Claudia, the Claw. Shout out to Mark Beavis, because all I had to do is hit them three up, and they got us a referee quick. Okay, they smelled it. Okay,
and I believe I'm friends with all of them on Facebook and remain friends. I think I met them through, of course, going to Dom's show, Big Papa Swift, working his merch table.
I even got a Spanish referee, okay, that doesn't really do American shows. Okay, he's all in WWC or IWA in Puerto Rico, all that. He hit me up and said, I can't make that show, but if you want, starting June, give me some dates. I'll make sure I do all. If no one shows up, I could do fucking up to 20 matches by myself. Like, shout out to those people that want to work. And you just bailed on us and didn't tell us nothing. So I think if I never spoke to Eddie, I honestly think that day of the show, if he never put up that post, I think honestly that day of the fucking show, we would have sat there like, where's the refs? Where's Eddie? What's going on?
Yeah, show goes on. We would improvise, adapt, overcome like Marines. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why card is always subject to change.
Card is always subject to change. You got to make audible at the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? And, you got to be able to go with the flow and be ready. That's why some of these guys are already asking me, who am I wrestling? What am I doing? Dude, the old school way. You get the lines when you get there. You know what I'm saying? You get the sheet when you get there. It's got your lines, Some of it's going to be improv, but stick to the script. And that's what I was like, the disrespect, kind of like you said. I felt like, honestly, I felt like my dog Primetime Dion with the son Shador. I'm sorry. That's but we just keep it moving, baby. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to keep it moving, and we're making our money doing our thing either way, and people will see it either way. So, and it ain't like I did start NCW to give my son. That is the number one reason I started, to give him a platform. But I do love this wrestling stuff. You know, I grew up with it.
Primo, you're bullshitting.
You know,
you're bullshitting.
Now
you're
you see NCW will go on no matter
bullshitting.
what.
You're bullshitting. When you open up NCW, the first thing you said was, yeah, I'm doing this for my son, but I want to put all these kids that get shitted on because Frankie was their coach an opportunity. Don't leave that part out.
I mean, I did coach football for 20 years also, Mikey. So, yeah. And
don't leave
basketball.
That out.
And hell, I think I almost got in a fight with Morrison at one practice. Like, he got into a scrap with another kid, and I was like, whoa, dude, you know, I was just letting them know. I don't know about them, but if that ever happens with my kid, it ain't going to happen. Like, it might going down like that.
Nah, I feel you. I mean,
so,
it's a
just,
tricky thing.
I feel what you're saying. It's just like, I just felt like it's bigger than that. And, you know, like I seen what Larry does. I think that reminds me of some hood shit I want to do in Tampa, what he does. So, you know, we need something like that too, because there is nothing for that demographic to go see wrestling. So I like what he's doing now. For them to go do that.
Well, all the way from Muscle Beach, California for your viewing pleasure. I am the sexual, intellectual, quintessential stud muffin. I think that guy is my uncle, the problematic, hydromatic, systematic. Ashton, if you've got the hour, I've got the power. Uriah, put your lipstick on my lipstick, Blanton. And May 31st. Ashton Uriah Blanton, the problematic child of professional wrestling, the world's 24/7 social media champion, will do exactly what my shirt says: make wrestling great again. Because we got a match. No, we, Tommy, the Drip King, Tommy Burns, the greatest professional wrestler in the state of Florida, has a match against Akamu. Akamu, you are one of the biggest, one of the baddest, and one of the toughest SOBs that the whole Florida indie scene has to offer. Akamu, I've been keeping a very, very close eye on your matches and watching exactly what you can do. But exactly the fact is that I have studied you in and out, front to back, page to page, side to side, and I know that my Drip King, Tommy Burns, will walk into Summerfield, Florida with the NCW Fight Night Championship, and at the end of the night, Jonathan Lane will be announcing in the best way that he possibly can, and still NCW Fight Night Champion, the Drip King, Tommy Burns. And if you've got a problem with that, we've only got 3 words for you. So effing what?
Hey, Ring Fever fans, make sure you check out Neglio's Hobby and Creative Shop on eBay for all your hobby needs. Yeah. We back, folks, from the commercial break. My bad. Something happened to the system real quick. Y'all lost me for a couple of seconds, but we back. But listen,
they don't want this transmission to go out, sir.
I don't want to.
I had to plug my phone in anyway because I couldn't. The MacBook don't like the StreamYard shit.
Listen, I'm pretty much done with that segment, man. I really wanted to ask you something else while you're here.
I wasn't done though. I was going. Nah.
You want to go off? Go off.
Yeah,
bro.
this part you can just
go
make this
off,
part
bro.
2. I mean, you can't be all tickling my ribs and shit like that and then not letting me say nothing.
Go ahead, man. Let it off, man.
You know, so fucking, I just felt like you said, I did want Cassidy and Tommy Burns and even him, you haven't even mentioned. He's the one that is keeping his, if he has any legacy alive. And have you seen a single post or thing about Tommy? Forget about Nick. I mean, that's my son, so I don't want everybody to think, oh, he's just talking.
Yeah.
You know.
Have I seen a single post about who?
Tommy Burns.
Not a single post. Not a single post.
He's the one who said he's Frank Reyes' last student. Technically is, right?
No, he technically is. He technically was. He technically is. I haven't seen King of Cool in a while. King of Cool and me are okay. You feel me?
He might be coming back. He might be coming back. I got it inside. He might be coming back. He's been doing his movies and stuff, you know.
That's right. Wasn't he like an actor on the side too, right?
Yeah, stuntman, actor. Now he's directing, behind the lens. So,
okay.
You know, you develop, you go older. Wrestling don't go nowhere. And obviously,
right.
Like you said, everybody they think they're in this shit forever. So, you know, some of these guys, they need that. They never had that talk with coach saying, you got to hang up the boots. Like, I need your helmet, bro. You're risk liability. Like, you need to, instead of thinking you could still be the next champ, and you could ride it out. But there comes a time where maybe you need to pass that knowledge on, and you know,
I got the best
verse
example
that says, "You take a man fishing, he'll eat for a day. You teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for life."
I got something for you. Claudia is an example. I asked to use Claudia. She said, "Hey, my time as a referee is done. I'm already old. I can't move the way I want to move. I'm gonna be real with you. My last official refereeing was that all women's pay-per-view at the NWA." I said, "Oh, okay." She said, "But if you want, I could be a little timekeeper. I could promote the show because it's here in Ocala. But physically, I can't do nothing. I'm past my time. But let me throw you 3 people that I've been working with in case you need them." And she gave me three names right away. That's somebody that
there's a perfect
example. Mark Beavis is another one. There was a time where Mark couldn't referee. Mark had to get surgery, and Mark would not get in the ring. And people would tell him, "Oh, come on, we need you. We need you." No, my health is more important. When I get better, I'll put my shirt on and I'll get in there. So these are people that still respect the craft. Now, the guy that's been further than all of them, because he's actually been signed 2 or 3 times, you know what I mean, is taking it as, I'm going to hold these kids back because one of these kids got to get me signed again. At least one of them. It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, I just felt like that's why, you know, I always felt like Brian's done Dom good, booked him on the birthday shows. We were trying, a lot of people don't know, we were, you know, like I was saying, we have the same agent in movies and Screen Actors Guild. So,
oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You know, when he was on book covers, and then he did a I forget what the movie was, Avengers or something he was in. A lot of people don't know. So, when I saw Brian had gotten on NWA, I found out about that Adventures in Carneyland show. And a lot of people still haven't seen that.
That show is funny as hell.
I mean, that is legendary.
That show is funny as hell.
It's about Billy Corgan, William Patrick Corgan buying the NWA and bringing the brand back to life, and how Brian struggles going through, and how the fight. I mean, if you've never seen it, you're in this business, you got to go see it, because I felt like I was living my own little version of Adventures in Carneyland. I still am. I still am. Up to this day, like, this is why we're making today's show. Like, I still can't believe 3 days before the show. It's crazy, bro.
Now, I got good
we'll
news
start
for you.
talking about everything else that's happened
I got
with NCW until then.
I got good news for you, at least. I got better news for you. You watched the show yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
How did you feel to find out there's another paisa out there? Another
I love it,
Italiano
because,
out
you
there?
know, as much as I love Miami, I did movies down there. I ain't trying to go down to Miami and work shows. Now, I do have a casino. Don't get mad at me, Vinny. The Indians are interested down there. So I do have my Indian tribe wanting to work something. Yeah. And, you know, I got to still send a proposal out there. But we should, you know, you should be more supportive of each other, like business-wise. It's like at the car dealership. You think we care there's another dealer across the street? Well, that's our we're trying to outsell you.
That's the only promoter that's ever done stuff like that. Because I remember when I did a show in the Boys and Girls, I wanted Carlito versus Cha-Cha, and Vinny was like, "Hey, I could get you Chris Masters, Epico Primo, and Carlito," and I'm like, "I don't have that type of money. I didn't ask you that. I said I could get you 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you want them? Are you sure? That sounds a little funny." Then he goes again. "They're going to be in my house that weekend, period. Do you want them? Yes or no? I will pay for them." All right, I want them. Bro,
I mean, that's how some of the talent
people
that we've got, you know, in our first couple of shows worked out that way. But, it's Ricky Love. I have to call Ricky back in a minute here. So let's wrap this up pretty quick, Mikey. I got to finish this talent. You know, honestly, that's why I was Brian. To wrap it up with Brian, we'll segue into our final segment. You know, we were he said, "Hey, NWA is coming to Tampa or Sarasota or something. You think Dom could do X amount of tickets? I could probably get him on the show." And I was like, I looked and I was like, whoa, big place. I think it was in Sarasota, Robarts Arena, a big anniversary show. Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know how many. And he was like, oh, this amount. And I was like, Sarasota's not really, we're Tampa. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't kind of work out. And then, like, I was like, nah, I just didn't want to promise something we couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how the business works. And then Tampa came about and he was like, can you do, you know, hey, Tampa. And I was like, well, let me know. I think we can do it. And then he was kind of things I didn't hear. He didn't hear. And then next thing you know, 2 weeks before the show, hey, I can get Dom on the show. And Dom was like, nah, man, I'm 2 weeks. I'm booked here. I got the dealer. I can't do this show. And I was like, fuck. So we waited a whole nother year and they came back to Tampa and it just worked out the day that it was on. He was off and like you said, sold out show, bro. All of his coaches came from his AAU coach, Coach D Money, White Star, Jack Boys, Pat Donovan from iHeartRadio, who I used to do. Oh,
that's right. I forgot about that.
Who wants to be part of NCW. I mean, there's so much big stuff.
Pat Donovan was there. I forgot about that.
Coach Wheezy was there, his high school coach from Jefferson. So, yeah, it was. I mean, even some of like the new guys, Bubba, and like you said, Gary from NCW, who Dom only trained a couple times with, wasn't really his coach, but respected that he had a school and the other kid called him coach. So that's, you know, he was a coach at his own school.
It was a respect
even if he was for a day your coach, like if you were at a summer camp for football and Coach Moon, Warren Moon was your coach for the day, you still call him Coach Moon when you see him.
Yeah. I mean, that's why look, man, I don't need to tell you my issues with Gary, but I got little issues with Gary, and I thought that was the only thing that I felt was like, all right,
That's
Gary,
a whole nother episode. We ain't got time for that.
We ain't got time for that. But that was one of the things I was like, at least you showed up.
That's a whole nother episode. We're just talking about Music and Mayhem 3, this whole thing with the refs, and a thank to the Claw. Thanks for them
switch up,
referring those refs to help make this show big. We got Brian Idol, Natalia Markova. We got our first ever women's division opening up with 4 of the best women across the globe. I got the Havana Savage, Carolina Cruz, comes right from the training factory, NXT, out of Orlando. It's been on NWA, NXT, been on WoW, made her debut last month. We got Aaliyah James from NXT UK.
Ooh.
So we got a British invasion. It is an invasion, folks. So
you got the Voodoo Queen.
They're facing each other. And we got the Voodoo Queen. Now, that shit, I don't know if you saw that promo today. That was some Hollywood Oliver Stone type.
No, the fans just watched it. I played it on commercials. So
it spelled nag dog out. I had to get out my cross, my rosaries, I'm bringing holy water.
That was a little creepy.
Everything. I might need you to bring the father's Guido Sarducci to this show, El Rey. Shoot, man. So, yeah, we got the Voodoo Queen against Natalia Markova for the women's title. I mean, $10 admission. I don't even know if there's VIP. It was $40. You get meet and greet and free dinner, and you get to sit in the dog pound. There was only 5 left as of this morning. There might still be a couple left.
Also,
but you get $10 general admission.
Free Cuban food.
And let's segue into, I'm going to end it with my heavyweight champion, the Cuban Assassin, who's going to bat for NCW and has worked with them for a long time and has told me he just don't understand. But he's loyal to NCW and he's our champion and he's ready to ride it as far as he can go. And you talk about an ageless wonder. And I even told him, when that day comes and you say, Paulie, I'm done. I want to move into the front office. He's going to let me know. But I think he can still go. You see him? He can go. The Cuban Assassin can go. And he can tell a story.
He still trains. He still runs every morning. I mean, the guy for his age, he's still in phenomenal shape. I mean, I
passes his physicals. He goes does all of his checks, works out every day, and the guy's a legend. I know you don't care that he wrestled Andre the Giant, but I do. Okay, and I know you got a little. We're gonna end it like this and leave the fans wondering, because I know you've been wondering what you're gonna do, but I know you know what you're gonna be doing Saturday.
He be pissing me off. That's all it is.
Don't be acting like you ain't got Lockjaw coming.
No, I got Lockjaw coming.
Don't act like you ain't got Panther coming. Don't act like
I got a phone call.
I see what's going on over there, okay?
I got a phone call last night.
Don't forget, mi abuela es puertorriqueña, calle dos tetas, cabrón. I know, okay?
I think the industry need to be careful because last night we over here talking shit with Vinny. And I got a message from somebody I've been trying to contact with because I don't know what the hell he's been doing in Puerto Rico. He said, "Estoy aquí." That's all he wrote. He didn't say he's with me. He didn't say he's coming to NCW. He said, "Estoy aquí." So yeah, I got Lockjaw and Panther, but if shit goes south, shit's gonna go really south.
You're probably gonna have. You always got 1 or 2 in the crowd at least. So this is your hometown, Marion County. You already been to the club and verified that the bus ain't AI. That thing's been rolling around town for months. It's gonna be standing room only. We got the 4 Horsemen of comedy. We got 5 hip hop artists. DJ Damage was on the show the other night. I mean, this show is going to be a banger, folks. Come on down this Saturday night.
I told you that the advertised bus was at Winn-Dixie this morning when I drove by. Just parked there, and you can see the NCW sign. That van has been all over Marion County. That advertising vehicle was even at the Rock the Country tour where Kid Rock and them perform, and you can see him advertising Joke Joint, advertising Negdor Championship Wrestling. He does dwarves too sometimes. He Dwarfinator Wrestling. He had us advertised. So I just want to say real quick, I know I may not say thank you to him on Saturday because we all be in promo mode and stuff. But thank you, Alex Soto. Jesus, bro. You're promoting us like the WWE is coming in town, which you should, because we have that quality of talent.
You mean you don't just make a Facebook post and expect to sell out, or these so-called sold-out shows with one side of the ring everybody's on? I mean, come on, man. Who you fooling, man?
They learned that from Jeremy Gomez. Man? That's an old Jeremy Gomez. Anyway, we ain't going to talk about that. We're going to keep it all 100 here. Saturday. There's still tickets on sale, folks.
Still a few VIPs, still a few general admission advance tickets you can get. So make sure you get them. Of course, we will have room for you at the door. You can reserve. I think you get a free, if you reserve your, call Alex at the Joke Joint and reserve your table. I think he's throwing in an extra drink, free drink for you, free Cuban food from the restaurant right down in the same plaza. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. We got some great scenery set up. It's going to be a movie. You know how they say it in that hip hop world? DJ Damage, me and DJ Damage, that's our joke. Shout out my dog Damage. Not when they say it's gonna be a movie.
Hey, Damage is hype. I gave him some pointers. He's like, okay, I got it. Like, he's gonna be him that night. So I'm very hype because as you can tell, you see the other end.
Hey, I'm excited to have another Goomba out there, Magic City. Hell, I thought he was closer in Orlando. Now I know he's even farther. I'm kind of bummed. So come on up to Orlando, Vinny. Take over that whole Miami to Orlando, Southeast, Third World, the Disney World. We hate that over here, Tampa. You know how we are in Tampa, bro. I'm Tampa. I'm not even there though. I'm up in the Adventure Coast. So we're kind of going all the way up to my home, my school, Tallahassee. We'll talk more about that. Make sure you get on that Mud Show Mayhem group and make sure you follow the Ring Fever podcast. Give some stars, bro, to my boy right here. Help him level up. We're trying to get this page to the next level so he can start getting subs. But one of the goals is he has to get, I think, 100 stars or 500 stars. I know he doesn't like to ask for them, so I'll ask for him. Donate some stars, y'all. You can click on it, buy $5 with the stars. Help us get this page leveled up so we can reach a bigger audience and come to you with more content and more shows.
Leveled up.
Shout out to Neglio's Hobby Shop Incorporated. Got all your needs. Check them out on eBay. Check them out on Facebook. I'm sure El Rey can put the link down below.
Oh, I'm definitely going to put the link down below.
You need tickets to the show. You can also just type in neg.dog and follow me on Twitch at negdog.com.
Folks, you hear the music? That's the time we have for you for today. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to those who have been supporting the show since day one. If you buy a Michael L. Rey t-shirt this week, and show me your receipt on ProWrestlingTees.com, you will get a free 8x10 of me and none other than Benny Blanco together. Not only that, if you buy a Michael L. Rey shirt at the show, let's be real, my shirts are very limited, size 2X, size 3X. You also receive a free 8x10. Tickets still on sale for NetDoorChampionship.com. Go on Facebook, Eventbrite. Information is there. Yeah, we are accepting money at the door, but you want to get your tickets fast. You want to get your tickets fast because you
only way to guarantee a seat. Only way we can guarantee you a seat.
Yes. The only way to guarantee a seat is to get it online, and you want to get it fast. You want to know why you want to get it fast? Because the word is out. Yo King El Rey will be there. So Marion County is coming in full effect. So there may not be room to sit down. I don't want that for you. You've been supporting me for the past 5 years. You guys love me. I love you. I want to take care of you too. So buy your tickets online. That way I make sure you get the seats. Also, fans who've been in Marion County for a long time, who've been on my journey through OCW, on my journey through Shadow, and now you guys are following me at Neck Dog. This weekend, holla at me. You know how your king gets down? You like somebody you want a picture? Holla at me. I'll make sure that happens for my fans. I always take care of my fans. I don't care about nothing else but them. They're the ones that held me down when people were trying to hack me. They were the people that stood there toe to toe, and they send me my little donations all the time. So once again, all you fans that are coming down from Marion County, I know it's technically not my show, but you guys are coming to support me. Guess what?
He's booked. He's booked. Don't let him fool you.
I'm booked on that show. You tell me what you need from me, and you know how I get down. You want a
the contract is signed.
You want a picture with one of your favorite people? I'll check you later, Paulie.
Okay.
I got you. You want a picture from your favorite NCW wrestler? I got you. You want anything? I got you, because that's how I get down. But here we go again. Make sure you subscribe on my YouTube page for your chance to win an El Rey grab bag. The contest starts July 1st through August 30th. July 1st through August 30th. I need you to subscribe and you will win a El Rey grab bag. What's in the El Rey grab bag? It is a Ring Fever shirt. King of Trash Talk. King of Trash Talk t-shirt. Tickets to a local indie event, some autographs, and more. So please subscribe to the YouTube for the replay. Make sure you guys hit that like button, like my man Paulie said. Send me some stars. Shout out to Neglio's Hobby Shop. If you into anything, baseball cards, basketball cards, comic books. Let's say you got a comic book collection. I personally am missing a copy of one of my Spider-Man 2099 series. I think I was missing issue number 18. I hit up Neglio's Hobby Shop. I got issue 18 to complete my collection of Spider-Man 2099 comic books. You can also do that too. If you hit up Neglio's Hobby Shop, as you seen earlier today, I post up the information. Hit them up. And they will find anything you need for your hobbies. Listen, folks, donate, Cash App, Michael El Rey, subscribe. I love you guys. I'm sorry the show wasn't super long today, but I got shit to do. Love you guys. Holla at you tomorrow.